Alright guys, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get better at hitting in MLB The Show 20. To hit, that's probably why you clicked on this video, but most people in the MLB The Show community struggle to hit, and they have trouble with their timing pitches, lining up their PCI with pitches, maybe even like reading pitches, like where they're going to go. So I'm going to cover that in this video. These are my personal, like what I use to hit, and I'm a World Series player. Obviously, I'm in wild card because I haven't got there yet. So I would consider myself as like a really good hitter in this game. As you can see, my ranked seasons record is 14-2 with a pretty much 400 average. So yeah, I'm going to be giving you guys my personal tips on how you can get better at hitting, just like literally what I did, because I used to be pretty bad at hitting in past MLB games as well. So the first thing we're going to do is go over my hitting settings, which are they're important, but they don't really matter that much as long as you're using zone. That's the biggest one right here. Hitting interface, you're going to want to have that on zone. If you're using directional hitting or analog hitting, I'm telling you, just try out zone. There's gonna be a learning curve to it. It's gonna take a while. In the long run, you'll be a much better hitter. You'll be able to hit track pitches. You'll be able to make perfect contact with pretty much any pitch in the strike zone. So I really recommend trying zone out. And if you have been using zone, you're struggling with it, I recommend just keep sticking with it, and you'll get it at some point. Maybe even right after this video, you'll be able to hit better with your zone. Alright, so for my PCI, I just use, I don't use the center dots because I don't know. They're alright. You can turn them on if you want. I recommend just doing circles because everything else is pretty distracting. But I just use the basic, which is the outline from last year, and yellow with 80%. It's pretty much, in the fade out, it doesn't really matter because I don't have anything on the out. But it's pretty much the same piece, the basic outline PCI from last year. I really like that, so I'm sticking with it this year. Okay, so now for the actual hitting tips. So say you're a new zone player. My first suggestion for you is to start out with the zone in a certain spot right before like the pitch comes. So when I first started using zone, I would always keep it high and inside. This is because mainly in the lower divisions of the game, even the higher divisions, the players love to just throw high and inside fastballs to try to jam you because I don't know for whatever reason they think that's a good pitch. So once again, when you're first starting out, you just want to keep it in a single spot, which I recommend high and inside, until you get really comfortable with actually tracking pitches. So like you just want to keep practicing, because this will help you if you're not good at moving the zone, or like, you know, tracking curveballs. Say like he starts here and goes down here, you're not good at tracking, you like undercut it, or you don't bring the stick down enough. This will be a good starting point for you. Okay, so one problem, which is why I switched from keeping it high and inside after I got very good at tracking pitches in this game, is I started flicking the PCI too far down, like overreacting, and this will be a common theme for you new zone players. You'll find yourself constantly pulling, which I'll demonstrate right here, like just like this. No, that's ball. But you'll find yourself pulling the PCI on pitches right down the middle, or maybe even if you're sitting high and inside, and you'll get so super excited the pitch is coming and just flick down and pop everything up just like that. And that's like one of the most when you're new to zone, that's literally the most common problem you will have, is just you have to just train your brain to not drop the PCI. So I figured out a way to fix this so it's easier to hit. So if you take your thumb, it's about holding the thumbstick different. If you take your thumb and you like cave it, I'll show a picture on screen. So you just want to have like the point of your finger, like the point of your thumb, the tip of your thumb in the center of the PCI, or the center of the thumbstick. That's where you're going to want to have your thumb, and it's going to be at like a 90-degree angle aiming down into your controller. I know it sounds weird, but that's how I hold the PCI, and this prevents you from dropping the PCI as much as you probably would without doing it. So I recommend giving it a try. It helped me become a better hitter than I was, and all these little things just help you step up your hitting game. All right, so now after you start getting comfortable with pitches, the next step you can do is starting your PCI in the middle, which is what I do now currently. After when you start it in the middle right here, if I feel like I can get to more pitches all over the zone. I can get to low and outside, high and outside, high and inside, and low and inside, just as well as I would before for just high and inside and low pitches. So to fix the popping up problem and dropping the PCI, the best thing I did to fix it was you keep the PCI in the middle and you bring it down just a tad, not too much, but because you wanna fix it, or you wanna bring it down just a tad, and this will prevent you from also dropping the PCI. And I'm telling you, it's easier to hit iron inside doing this than keeping the PCI there. It sounds weird, but it actually is. For me personally, I hit high and inside pitches better keeping the PCI in the middle, and you just bring it down a little bit. You can flick up to every pitch, you can get down to every pitch, and right there, see that pitch was right down the middle. If you're starting in high and inside, you probably would have popped that up. So another tip is, well, and this will sound stupid to you guys, but you got to warm up your finger before every pitch. And this is what I started doing just last year, and it's helped me probably raise my team's batting average over 100 points. Just because the amount of like flicks you can get after your finger is warmed up, and the precision of the flicks is so much better than if your finger was just sitting there. So even if you're starting high and inside, you just want to go like this a couple of times, and then right when he's about to get in his windup, you drag it down a tiny bit. Just drag it down right when he's about to throw it, and you can easily flick to pitches, and it makes it a lot easier to hit. So now a lot of you are also wondering, what type of swing do I use? So for me personally, I always use X swing in pretty much every game mode besides BR. BR, my strategy for Battle Royale with the swinging is until I'm at 2 strikes, I do with power swing, just because that's all based on home runs, not really like getting on base. But if you feel comfortable enough where you're squaring up pitches all game, you can read this pitcher so easily, then I'd recommend moving to the power swing, because it does give you that extra edge, not too much, and it also makes the PCI smaller. So that's why you have to be squaring up pitches at a constant rate to be able to power swing. And besides that, it's pretty much all X swing from there. Never use contact swing, that thing's trash. X swing is the swing to go to, because I feel like your PCI is just the right size. You can get just enough power out of hits. Like that past home run, couple at bats ago with JD, went like 400 something feet, and it was an X swing. So you can still hit for power with the X swing. It gives you the best chance of making contact while also having lots of power in your hits. So a way to practice having hitting and flicking to pitches is just go into this practice mode that I'm in right here. This is like offline. You can set the count to whatever you want. And so if you want to practice hitting fastballs, you just go to 3-0, and you just have them throw you high fastballs, because that's pretty much what's going to come when they throw 3-0. And you can practice flicking up. Say he's going to throw a fastball, you're here, you flick up to it just like that, and it's a line out. But once you get you'll eventually get comfortable with flicking all over the zone. Once you just practice enough. I can't stress this enough, you just have to practice with the zone. So probably one of the biggest helpers while you're trying to get better at zone hitting is using the strike zone camera. As you can see here, this helps you get the best view of pitches coming in, whether it's going to be a ball or strike. I know it might not look the best, but it is. If you're trying to get better at hitting, this is the best way to do it. The strike zone camera helps you have a better eye, because it helps you get yourself into better counts, which is always good. Because the better, say you're in a 3-0 count, 3-1 count, then online the person's probably going to throw your strike, because people online, they do not want to walk you, unless you're like Joey Gallo up. But people online do not want to walk you. So the better count you can get in, the better pitches you'll be seeing. So you just want to learn, once you can see what different pitches do, let's say a changeup, and you know the changeup's going to start low and it's just going to keep dipping down, then you'll learn to eventually lay off those pitches the more you use zone, because when you first start hitting and when you first start using zone, you'll have a very bad, when I first started, I was just swinging everything. I would be chasing all outside, all low, all high. I'd be chasing every single pitch. I don't know, it was just a reactionary thing. But it's pretty much just training. You have to train your brain to be able to not chase those pitches, because people online do throw a lot of junk. In the lower divisions, it's mainly just high fastballs, sliders, change-ups, and curveballs in the dirt. They don't really know how to locate pitches. They'll try to throw fastballs maybe on the high and inside corner. That's the only corner they'll hit. Or fastballs right down the middle. You can just, once you know how to read those pitches, you can work the count and get yourself into better hitting situations. So for a recap of this whole zone hitting beginner tutorial is warm up your finger, keep the PCI either in one spot high and inside or in the middle, and bring it down slightly right when the pitcher is in his windup, and try to get better at reading pitches, lay off pitches that are not in the strike zone, and work counts. And that's all there is to hitting in this game. It's not that complicated. It might seem like, oh dude, I'm batting 100 with all my players on Diamond Dynasty, my team, my record is so bad I can't hit. If you follow these steps in this video and practice a lot, and practice against in the training mode, you play the event, because that doesn't count towards losses and you're still playing online. You don't lose anything for losing besides you have to restart, but still, you're still getting practice against online players who are pitching you the ball. I really appreciate you guys showing the support recently. I'm up to like 677 subscribers at the time of uploading this video, which is unreal to me. I never thought I'd be here. We're close to getting that 1,000 subscriber goal. So if any of you guys have other questions about trying to hit, I may make a follow-up video on answering those questions if you comment them down below. And that's pretty much all I have for now. So guys, I'm out. Peace.